Hi, my beautiful friend. Today I invite you to forgive and forget so you can make more space in your life for abundance, for joy, and for love. And you've heard this before. You know the power of forgiveness. And I'm sure there's somebody in your life from the past that upset you, that hurt you so much that it's very hard to let go. I'm going to share with you in a moment a tool that will help you forgive and release that super easy. It's a secret tool that I share with my clients. After they do that, they have a complete breakthrough transformation. So here's the thing, before we get into that, somebody upset you really bad. They hurt you, they broke your heart. It seems difficult on a conscious level to forgive them because they wronged you, and I understand that. But you holding on to that pain, and if I ask you right now, hey, can you tell me about that situation that happened to you? When you start talking about, if you're feeling the same things, if there is any emotional charge, that means that you're still carrying that with you. You bringing that with you in your relationships, you bring that with you in your business, in your relationships with your family members. That weight, it's also showing up as maybe body aches, maybe extra weight, those extra pounds that you've been trying to lose. A lot of it is from the emotional charge that you holding on from the years. So forgiving, it's the most powerful gift that you can give to yourself, because forgiving somebody for their wrongs will only free you as a person. That doesn't mean that you have to make out to that person, to love them. You simply let go of that pain on your own end. Therefore, you release both of you from prison. If they ever come back to say sorry, great. If they don't, who cares? So this tool was presented to me by a shaman. I was in Sedona, it was a New Year's Eve. She did a session on me. She's like, you need to release the people that have hurt you in your childhood. In my mind, I'm like, I already did. Like, I moved on. Of course not. So what she told me to do is go home and write a letter to every person. Now, this is the trick. Pick a person that upset you really bad. First part of the letter, you say, I forgive you for, and you just go on. I forgive you for doing this. I forgive you for saying that. I forgive you for treating me this way. Just keep going. And until you pour everything out, just write it down on paper. The second section, very important. Say, please forgive me for. And before you say, there is nothing that I need to forgive that person because what they did, that's their fault. My friend, I'm here to tell you that in every situation, it takes two to tango. Maybe they have 90% of the fault. Maybe you have 10. I don't know. I am not the judge. I don't know your situation. However, you can never have a conflict with the person that gives nothing but love. It doesn't stick. It's like you can't mix water and oil, right? They're two different things. Ask them to forgive you for. 9 times out of 10, by the time you get to that level, you're going to find a million things that you want them to forgive you for. And usually it doesn't happen when you just think about. It's very important to write that down because there's something magical happens when you write something on a paper. It creates a certain vibration in your brain and you're just focused. You're going into this flow state, right? So you ask them for forgiveness. And when you're done with that, you're probably going to have some breakthrough moments. You're going to start crying because by writing this stuff down, pouring everything out of your heart on a paper, you're going to release a lot of that emotional charge. So now, here's the kicker. You fold that paper and you burn it. And you watch it burn until you see nothing but ashes. You're going to feel this heavy weight completely leave your body. I did the same thing for my grandfather. I used to have a grandfather who I thought was the most selfish person ever. He went through the Second World War II. And before I share this story, if this resonates with you, if you find the value in this video, please click the like button, comment below, let me know if that resonated with you. So my grandfather, I'm 12 years old and I'm living with him for a year and a half. My parents sent me there to study. And he would always hide food from me, right? If he had fish or something that was like more delicious, he would hide it from me. And on top of that, every time he would send me to the store to buy bread, he would never give me a little extra to buy myself dessert. Now, as a kid, you want dessert, you want sweet stuff, right? I've never been spoiled by my grandfather. Knowing that as a kid, I couldn't understand why he was behaving the way he was behaving. I just knew he was very selfish. And I disrespected him in many ways. Meaning, when he would talk to me, I would just start singing, or I would respond back, or I would just not listen to it. If I did that to my parents, that would just beat me out. But my grandfather never raised his hand at me, and I just found it easy to disrespect him because I'm like, well, you're selfish. You don't share anything with me. Why would I be nice to you? He died when I was in college, but our relationship never improved. I just had that perceived opinion about him, and it was just like that, you know, we're family members, but there was never that heart-to-heart relationship. What happened is, over the years, every few months, he would come into my dreams. And to make it even scarier, the way he would come into my dreams, he was in his dead body. He wasn't saying anything. He would just follow me from room to room. Like, I would go into a room and he would just come and watch me. And I would go to the other room and he would follow me. And I would wake up with these nightmares. I was freaked out because I'm like, why are you following? What do you want from me? He would never say anything. So when I went to the shaman and I wrote a letter to my grandfather, I'm like, there's nothing I need to ask for forgiveness. Like, he was the ass. He was the selfish person. So I wrote this 2 pages of everything that he did wrong, right? And as I started writing, please forgive me for, the tears start coming down. Because for the first time, I realized why he did what he did. So he went through the Second World War II. He went through the Great Depression. Meaning he had a wife and kids to take care of. And all he had was a sack of corn that was hidden underneath, like in the basement. And all they could eat was a few grains of corn every day to make it last so they can survive the Great Depression. Now, knowing that now, how can you now hide food? That's something that, unless you release it on a subconscious level, that stays with you. So he was behaving a certain way. He was always hiding. He was always saving for tomorrow because God forbid that it's going to be taken away from you. I never understood that as a kid. As a kid, I was just thinking like me, oh, I'm not getting my candy. Oh, I'm not getting the food. Whatever it is that the grandparents were doing for their grandkids, I wasn't getting. I wasn't being spoiled. So I took that personally. And I realized how much I had to ask for forgiveness for disrespecting him, for not understanding him, for being that bad kid. And I remember only a few things. But I wrote that letter down and I threw it in a fire and I just felt this huge weight lifting off my chest. And I want to tell you that I used to have those dreams every few months. Since I burned that letter, he has never showed up in my dreams. And that's when I realized he kept coming into my dreams to ask me to release him of that baggage, of that, to forgive him and ask for forgiveness. Imagine the amount of people in your life that you hold grudges to, that you need to forgive or you need to ask for forgiveness. Write that letter down. Do that gift for yourself and for others. Release yourself and them from this prison and burn it. 9 times out of 10, if you still have those relationships in your life, they're going to improve tremendously because we communicate through energy. Even if that person that is still alive never gets to read that letter, when you write it down, when you burn it, they're gonna feel it. They're gonna feel that release and they're gonna act and treat you better. Your relationship is going to improve instantly. I promise you. Don't take this exercise lightly. It's done wonders for a lot of my clients. So write it down. Please forgive me for this. I forgive you for that. Burn it and watch yourself release from this pain that you've been carrying for a long time. I love you, my friend. If this resonated with you, click the like button, subscribe to my channel so you can be notified. I post a video every Tuesday and Friday with practical tools how to help you uplift yourself, release yourself from past trauma and live a happier life because you deserve it, my friend. Love you.